Hey everybody, it's Shizuk and welcome back to Breaking the Deadlock. Today, yet again, we're looking at a replay from the Aurora Deadlock Masters tournament, but however, this time instead of talking and breaking down the individual play of, in this case, we're looking at Piggy's gameplay, we're going to be breaking down some of the map movements that Team MikaelS made and something that I think sets them apart from other teams. I wanted to focus on what made this team powerful in the sense of the holistic map movements that they were making and not just the individual skill that they brought to the table. Because obviously they're all individually skilled players, they were able to win the tournament, but I think that they did a couple things specific that I didn't expect. And I wanted to break down some of these map movements to put into your thought process as the game goes on and give you some food for thought on how these guys operate around the map. So this game, the way it kind of goes is it's a shit stomp. It's a shellacking. These guys mop the floor with Team Recurrent, and it does not go very well for Team Recurrent whatsoever. And as we can see right now, 8K to 6K, the game is going pretty in favor of Team MikaelS at the moment. They're up a 1K soul, 2K-ish area for souls. But I want to show how they take a small laning lead and really snowball it out of proportion. So the first thing that I want to break down that I think is part of their vision is actually the amount of souls that are given if you take down a Guardian. So to put this into perspective, each player on a team gets 275 souls for each Guardian that they take down. That's 125 from the actual Guardian falling, and then 4 soul orbs pop off, giving about 38 to 37 souls each. So that adds up to 275, and then if you multiply that by 6 for each teammate, that's now 1,650. And then if you take down all 4 Guardians, that's 6,600. So there's a ton of souls that are actually in the economy just from the Guardians being taken down. And we actually see Listic taking down a Guardian right now in the yellow lane. And if you make that a focus of yours, it's going to inject a lot of souls into your economy, making you take more efficient fights. And then additionally, I want to highlight, we're going to get to this and see it in action in a little bit. I think that also taking down these Guardians is going to allow you to team fight better around this middle area of the map. And more importantly, it's going to enable you to farm the jungle. And not just the jungle, but rather the enemy jungle. So if we take a look down at the map right now, we see that Listic rotated from yellow over to orange. He's going and fighting, even at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, he's going and fighting there for that Guardian and putting pressure onto that part of the map. And with that map pressure, they get significant damage on that Guardian, and it also enables more pressure to be put onto blue. And Piggy and MikaelS, they're able to actually take down this Guardian as well. So if we see that that is a part of that soul lead that they're building is the bounties from these Guardians. And then I want to also note, as we get into 7 minutes, I want you to take note of where they're playing on the map. So this is a big, obviously there's gameplay in the middle of the screen, but really what I'm doing when I'm recording this video and talking about the map movements that I'm seeing is I'm staring at the map. And I wish I could break out and give you individual perspectives for fights and stuff like that, but we don't have a match ID, can't do much about it right now. So take a look at this rotation that we're seeing right now from Piggy. It's 6 minutes, not even camps up yet, and they're 3 manning on purple to take down this Guardian. I think that they are cyclically taking this soul lead that they've built by taking down 2 Guardians, and they are continuing to pressure it to get the souls from the other Guardians and further that lead. So now we have the situation where all 4 are down. 7 minutes is coming up soon. So now they're in mode, they want to protect their Guardians, make sure that they don't feed the soul lead that they have built so far. They want to ensure that that soul lead they've gained from the Guardians stays in their pockets, and they're going to end up taking fights to defend those Guardians and then also around the center of the map to take other objectives. So they are in full brawl mode. They're obviously killing waves when they can, but they are brawling and brawling and brawling, and they want to keep the map pressure up so that Team Recurrent cannot actually take any farm that's on the map. They have troubles getting to their waves and fighting on for souls there. And note, we're hitting about 7 minutes here. And Picky actually calls us out here too. He left his comms in this video, but he actually says, all right, everyone go take their camps, make sure to farm their camps. So in between farming these waves, if you notice right now, the Warden's in the jungle right now, and he's farming the enemy team's jungle. I think that this is essential to the strategy that was going on here. They're now going to deny even more souls from Team Recurrent by farming their jungle, which is going to further that lead and functionally deny them of those souls and put them in their pocket instead. So I really urge you to look at the map right now. Although they're fighting here, they're giving up purple to put the pressure on right now and maybe even threaten this walker. Because yet again, walkers, I don't have the specific math for the walker, but it's also the same concept of the Guardian, where if you take it down, it's going to give you that fixed bounty. And then also on top of that, all the souls that are shared between the entire team, furthering that net worth advantage and furthering efficient fights that they can take. So we're going to take a look at the map. What do we notice? We see that all of Team MikaelS, all of their camps are up. they have not been farming their side of the jungle at all, and it's been 2 minutes already. You would think at the highest level, like all these guys, they're very efficiently farming their own camps and stuff like that, and they absolutely are. They're going to take some of their camps that are accessible, but they're intending to put the pressure onto the other side of the map to deny the farm from the other team. If they see people get too far from objectives, they're going to take fights and win fights off of that because there's nothing for them to fight around. And now their game plan is to hit walkers. They're urgently trying to hit walkers. They're trying to build this lead. Piggy actually called it out here, and we see that kind of across the board. They're keeping the lanes shoved in, and the map pressure is high. So think about being in Team Requin's position right now. What do they really have to farm? They have the waves in between on the lanes, but they don't really have any jungle creeps. They have what I like to call, quote unquote, the losers camps in the edges of the map up towards the edges of your base, right? And we can see that. I'm going to highlight it with my mouse here and here. Those corner camps, I think, are a huge part of a lost game. Obviously, it's great to put souls in your pocket, and maybe if you're not as coordinated as this team, maybe if it's a pub, it's fine to hit these. But I think that this team, Team MikaelS, they intentionally don't farm backwards unless they have to, or they farm backwards if all of the farm on the other side of the map has been taken. So they intentionally take fights that are going to secure them souls that also deny the other team souls. I probably sound like a broken record by now, but essentially Team Requin doesn't have a recovery method right now. They're running the urn right now. There's no real camps for them to take on their side of the map. They have to go fight for waves and push outside of their base to actually get farm, which is just going to make the team that has the net worth lead snowball even harder. I think that's something that's unique to this game as compared to Dota, is that in Dota, the camps respawn every minute. If you get pushed into your jungle and you get pushed into your base, but then say you reclaim a little bit of distance, those camps are there again. But in this game, it takes 4 to 8 minutes for those camps to respawn. That's a huge period of time that you've denied people the souls that they need, and in that time, you can take more objectives. So we see Piggy rotating here to a fight, and Team MikaelS, they're going to mop the floor. And obviously, individually skilled players, no doubt, but also a huge net worth lead is going to enable them to take this fight successfully, right? Like if you're down items and you don't have equitable damage to the other team, you're just going to simply lose the fight. Like it's mathematically not going to happen in your favor. And then now that there's 3 dead, they're going to either rejuvenator, and yep, we see some people going there, but they're also, Piggy's going to keep the pressure up individually on this walker. If he can try to take this walker and or force rotations to this corner of the map, that's a great thing for them to do, right? So they're going to be able to team fight longer with that rejuvenator, and they're going to continue to be able to pressure that lead. So because of the pressure that's been put on this walker, you have people rotating to a corner of the map. There's not really farm there. There's a wave that you can hit, but it also allows the secure of the rejuvenator. And I mean, that wasn't really going to be contested anyway, but we kind of see that this lead continues to grow based on these objectives that they're taking. At this point, the game is out of control for Team Requin. It's not doable. They can't win this anymore. It would take a horrific throw from Team MikaelS to actually turn the tide on this game. So what are the takeaways from this video? What did we learn? I think something that Team MikaelS did excellently throughout this tournament, and not just in the games that were shellackings, was that they farmed forward and they made sure to secure objectives to build a soul lead. This team was able to win their lanes through individual skill, and then they took those slightly won lanes and they snowballed it out of control with Guardian kills. Once they built that lead at 7 minutes, they made sure to farm the enemy's camp to make sure that they were denying all the souls that could potentially go into the hands of Team Requin, and they refused to backtrack when they were the ones in power. There was no point for them to backtrack because they were clearly getting the kills and building that lead, and if they can deny the ability for the other team to get back into the game, they're going to continue to do that. So yet again, a big congrats to Team MikaelS and the squad. Piggy, again, this is his perspective. I'll have his Twitch and YouTube down in below, and you can actually watch this full game from his perspective with his comms as well. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you took something away from this video and you understand a little bit more about pushing that advantage when you're in positions of power. And congrats to Team MikaelS. Let me know if you like this style of video. I have been having fun doing this, where I look at and analyze the high-level gameplay, and I want to keep doing it. So let me know if you like this format. All right, everybody, have a good one.